Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to do a comparison of versus video on these two vehicles here. So we have the 2025 Chevrolet Trailblazer, and this is in the RS trim level, versus the 2025 Chevy Trax, and this is in the LT trim level there. And so these are not apples to apples, but it really gives us a good comparison of what the dealership had here in my hometown that they had in stock. But it gives us a really good comparison on what's good in the Trailblazer and what is really good in the Trax. So let's get this video started. Let's find out which one is the best for you. All right, so let's start off with the front end design here in the Trax. So you're gonna have LED daytime running lights here, and then you have your LED headlights down there just below that. And that leads into this nice aggressive grille with the black logo here from Chevy right on the front of the vehicle. And really, this design language from Chevrolet really started here in this Trax, and then has started to carry over to models like the Trailblazer, the Equinox, the Traverse, and then so on. So, overall, just a really clean, good-looking design here from Chevrolet. Now, coming over to the wheels here on this LT, you do have these 17-inch gray finish wheels here with, interestingly, the regular Chevy bow tie in the middle there versus that blacked out that the rest of the car has there. So, interesting little touch there, but not a huge deal. Coming over here, you do have your body-colored painted mirror on the top there. No turn signal in that mirror. And then coming over to the side silhouette of the vehicle, overall, the Trax is a lot closer to the ground. I say a lot closer. It's not that much closer to the ground, but it is a noticeable difference, versus the Trailblazer over there. And it feels more of like a sedan almost, a kind of raised up sedan versus a full-on crossover. Now, on the top, you do have black roof rails up top there, and then you have your gas cap here in the back of the vehicle. And you can just press it and open it up. It is a capless design right in the back. Press it and it locks it back in place there. Same design wheels here on the back. And then coming to the rear of the vehicle, you do have your halogen bulbs here in the back there for your reverse light and your brake lights here. You do have an exposed wiper here in the rear. Again, that black bow tie. LT spelled out here on the back of the vehicle with Trax spelled out on the left-hand side, driver's side of the vehicle, and black. That's blacked out as well. Now, this vehicle does have sensors here on the back. So as you're backing up to something, if you get close to something, it will beep at you and let you know that you're getting close. You do also have your backup camera here in the vehicle as well. Let's go over to the Trailblazer, and let's start off, I guess, because we're back here in the rear. Let's start off with the rear of the vehicle here. So if you look at the two of them side by side in the rear here, again, you're going to see that the Trailblazer feels like a more upright crossover vehicle, whereas in that Trax really just feels more of like the kind of raised up sedan. Now, you're going to see exposed tailpipes here on the back. You do have those reverse sensors here on the back as well, so if you're backing up getting close to something, it will beep at you. Again, black bow tie, and then Trailblazer spelled out there right on the back. Now, these lights are, you got reverse lights, and then you have your halogen bulbs here for your brake lights as well. An exposed wiper blade on the back as well back here on the rear. Really, the biggest difference is again, Trailblazer is more upright, and then you have those twin exposed tips on the back there, whereas in the Trax keeps it really clean and cohesive. You do have your black finish here on this roof. Now, you can get that option there on the Trax as well. This one just doesn't have it, but you do have the black roof rails on the top there as well. Coming over to the side, you have these really nice finished wheels here on this Trailblazer RS there. Really overall, really nice wheels. Now, these are 19 inches versus the 17s there on the Trax. Now, if you go with the RS Trax there, you do get a little bigger wheel on the Trax as well. Now, coming to the front there, similar design here on the front of the Trailblazer. You have your LED daytime running lights with your LED headlights. And then that leads over to the grille here that you have very similar design. If you look at them side by side, you can see where the Trax really kind of fed into what Chevy did on the Trailblazer because of the success that it had on the Trax. Now, here's one thing I do want to note there, and you'll see this is kind of the angle. Let's go over here. The Trax has more of that flat hood over there, whereas in the Trailblazer, again, it's just raised up just a hair here in that Trailblazer. So overall, the Trailblazer just feels a little bit more upright, whereas in that Trax feels more of basically a raised up sedan. All right, so cargo area time here. Now, This is where it gets pretty interesting here. So you have the Trailblazer that's kind of more upright versus the Trax here. And we're going to start on the Trax side just because the Trax actually has 25.6 cubic feet of cargo space versus 25.3. Here's the deal. You're not going to notice much difference in these two vehicles. If you're looking for cargo space, both do a great job compared to other vehicles in the compact crossover segment. Underneath the Trax here, you do have a spare tire down there, and you do have the ability to pull this floor out, and you can see down there there's little rails. You can put this floor down a row there to give you a little extra bit of cargo space in the back there. Now, no power cargo trunk on this one, just a manual trunk on the Trax. If I go over to the Trailblazer, I do have a power trunk there. I can press that button and it will close the trunk up, but overall you'll see that's very similar cargo space in the back of the Trax. Trailblazer. The Trax has the more cargo space, but it's very similar in the Trailblazer and Trax there. The Trailblazer, if you can see it a little bit in the camera there, the Trailblazer, because again it sits up a little bit further, the cargo space is a little bit higher. So if you have a little heavier stuff, it is a little bit higher to get it inside the Trailblazer. Not much, but just a small thing to note there. Now, inside here, again, you have very similar items down here. You have a spare tire down there as well. This one's got the all-weather mats placed in the back here, but you do have a little cargo space on the left and the right-hand side. Same way in the Trax as well there. But overall, the biggest difference is both are very comfortable in cargo space, but you do have the power liftgate here in the rear of the Trailblazer. All right, so let's go to the rear of the vehicle here. Here's the great news as well back here. Plenty of space back here in the back of the Trax. Now, you have 38.8 inches of legroom here in the back of the Trax. Let's start over here with the door real quick, because this is where you kind of see where the affordability comes in. Hard plastic there on the Chevy Trax. You have a little kind of a little storage area down there, and then on the top, power windows, and then a silver chrome door handle there. But overall, everything is hard inside there, very, very rough on the arms. But you do have nice half leatherette seating surfaces here in the Trax. No center armrest there in the Trax, but you do have two USB ports down there, and then a storage area down there as well. No air vents in the top there, so you don't have something that blows directly into your face there in the back of the Chevy Trax. But overall, plenty of space there. If you want to put a kid back there, a car seat, that kind of stuff, you will have space in the back of the Trax. All right, so let's go underneath the hood here. Let's start off with the Chevy Trailblazer here. So for 2025, you have two engine options in the Trailblazer. It starts out with a 1.2 liter turbocharged three-cylinder engine there, and that is hooked up to a continuously variable transmission, or you have this optional 1.3 liter turbocharged three-cylinder engine that's hooked up to a continuously variable transmission as well. This produces 155 horsepower. Over at the Trax, you have that first engine option that we were talking about on the Trailblazer, the 1.2 liter three-cylinder engine. Interestingly enough, though, this one is hooked up to a 6-speed automatic transmission, producing 137 horsepower. So the main difference there, 1.3 liter in this RS, but you can get the option or the 1.2 liter if you go with the lower trim levels here. The Trax only gets the 1.2 liter in general, but you only get a CVT over there in the Trailblazer, whereas you do get a 6-speed automatic transmission here in the Chevy Trax. So if you want the 6-speed automatic, go with the Trax. If you don't care and you want a little extra horsepower, go with the Trailblazer here. All right, let's go up to the front of the vehicles. Now, both of these do have passive entry, so I can lock the doors by with the key in my pocket and then just pressing this button, or I can unlock it by pressing that button again and getting right inside the vehicle. Now, coming to the front of the Trax here, you do have this nice, interesting white finish here on the door panel that looks very good, but more of the hard plastic there in the front of the vehicle. Power mirrors, power window, power lock options right there. Cup holders down at the bottom. And then over on the seating surfaces here, you do have this half leatherette, half cloth finish there. These are manual seats here in this vehicle. You do have a nice leather wrap steering wheel here. Automatic headlights on the side. And then getting inside the vehicle here, you do have this 11-inch screen here from Chevrolet. Let me just turn this car on. You do have heated seats here for the front two passengers. You do have a single zone automatic climate control here. Let me turn that down a little bit. I apologize. Hazard lights right there. But again, that 11-inch touchscreen here that you do have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto hooked up. You also have the 8-inch screen here in the middle that gives you your tachometer, speedometer, all that kind of stuff. You do also have a heated steering wheel here in this vehicle. This is also a leather-wrapped finished one. And you have all your safety controls here and all your buttons here, but you do have adaptive cruise control here on the Trax. You have your headlight here with your automatic headlight option, automatic high beam options right there. You can press that button. Stalk on the right-hand side is your windshield wipers there. And then, of course, you do have the very good OnStar system from Chevrolet. The shifter is down here on the bottom. You do have a button here for your lane keeping assist, power parking brake here, and then again this shifter that you can go to drive, and then you can also go down to low if you get into a sticky situation. 2 cup holders there and a little phone slot, and then a hard armrest here, but you can open this up and get some storage space down there, as well as some storage space right there. Let's go over to the Trailblazer now. Now over to the Trailblazer, same setup here. You can unlock and lock the doors with the proximity key right in your hand. I'm gonna pop this door open, and then coming to the door panel in this RS, you have this really cool red accent there. You have a little nice stitching here, and then you have again similar concept to the rear of the doors there. You have a little softer armrest, but again, still pretty hard there. Power window, power mirror, power window locks, all that options right there. Little storage areas down there. And then you also have your power liftgate option right there where you can open it to max or 3/4, however you like that to set there. And then coming over, you do have your automatic headlights here, the automatic dimming lights in there as well. And you have these full leatherette finished seating surfaces here with RS stitch in it. You also have power options here with power lumbar and the RS trim level. You have this really cool steering wheel that's kind of a flat-ish bottom. It's not full on flat, but you do have this perforation. It's really not perforated. It just looks perforated on the vehicle. And then coming inside here, you have some similar items here on the Trailblazer. You still have this 11-inch screen here in the Trailblazer. Give it a second for the buttons to stop beeping at me. There we go. Turn the AC down. But it's the same 11-inch screen here and the same 8-inch setup there in the instrument cluster as you have in the Trax, which is a good thing. You have the single zone automatic climate control and then 3-way heated seats here on the Trailblazer. USB ports down there with a 12-volt power outlet and then a wireless charging pad located right there as well. And then you also, in this one, you do have some snow mode, some sport mode, and then you have your lane keeping assist button right there and then traction control off. Shifter, very similar setup here in the Trailblazer with the electronic parking brake, similar setup on the cup holders. And then you also have a similar setup here with the storage area and the center armrest there in the middle. So that's kind of really, really similar to the Trax. Again, same thing, GM's very handy OnStar system. And then you have your safety features here, heated steering wheel here in this vehicle as well. And then you have your adaptive cruise control and lane centering, all that kind of stuff there. Same way as in the Trax there with your automatic high beam headlights there and your windshield wipers on the right-hand side as well. So overall, very similar there, but also really interesting difference there because of this RS trim level. All right, so that has been a quick walk around and kind of comparison versus video between the 2025 Chevy Trailblazer versus the 2025 Chevy Trax. And the question is, which one is the best option for you? And well, I guess design is a big thing. If you like the more upright space that the kind of the headroom that the Trailblazer gives you, that's awesome. If you like the Trax more of like the sedan look there, go with the Trax there. The biggest difference between the two of them is one, you have that optional 1.3 liter engine that's a little more power in the Trailblazer and the option of all-wheel drive. Everything else really in the Trax versus the Trailblazer are super, super similar, even down to the cargo space being just a few cubic inches off of each other, the leg room in the second row being just a few inches off each other. The biggest difference is just a little bit extra headroom in the back of the Trailblazer there. If you're a little taller person, Trailblazer would be your way to go, or the option of the bigger engine and all-wheel drive. So let me know if you guys have any questions. Let me know in the comment section, which one would you go with if you were looking to buy a subcompact crossover and you're looking at Chevy's lineup? Let me know if you're going with the Trax or if you're going with the Trailblazer. And if you haven't done so already, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and we'll see you guys in the next video.